Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting match here on our continuing coverage of the Crosskeys Sanity 2021 tournament. Today, we are bringing you fcoughlin as well as AceZer0817, who's really cropped badly. I'm going to take care of that. Don't worry about it. Without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Drosy and Tracy and get these runners started. We will see you all later.
Hey everyone, happy Tuesday evening here, and happy final evening of the third week of this Crosskeys tournament. This is a 1-in-1 match. This is Swiss, so these two runners are paired up with the same record. One of them goes to 2-1, the other will go to 1-2. Tracy, why don't you give us a rundown on them?
I mean, very good runners. Both were in the tournament. I know Ace made it to the brackets. I'm trying to recall if Fred did or not. But both very good runners. Also want to shout out both of them for participating in the SMZ3 co-op tournament that's actually kicking off today. Ace, in fact, is my partner in said tournament. So a lot of definitely a lot of versatility of these runners. Fred, in particular, I know does a lot of different randomizers.
Well, he's written 2 of them.
There you go.
And has also done some interesting routing, like came up with the routing for the Final Fantasy I world record run.
Nice. Yeah, definitely a game that I know not a lot about, but definitely a game that I played back in the day, and it's a fun one, so.
Yeah, and it looks like we are underway here.
Oh, wow. Both runners starting at Sank. That's not what we usually see.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that either. Guess we'll see where it goes.
Oh, right to Kakariko. That's one of my favorite Sank starting points, is to be able to go right into Kakariko from there. There's my least favorite. Oh, we're already in a dark room. I don't mind the pyramid so much, but the castle one, where you're just right on top of your regular starting point, just doesn't give you extra options, really. And
yeah, the nice thing about that start, too, is as soon as they get bombs, they can jump in the well and do back of escape.
Yep, exactly. And we also got some money there, and I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Fred's going right back in to farm more. Ace gonna grab these bombs from the bomb shop. If they farm a couple more times, they can get both bombs and bottle vendor all at once, which should be a really nice way to go. But Ace gonna go jump into the well, and Fred is probably saving up for that bottle vendor, but now sees bombs and is like, I'll get these. I can get more for the bottle vendor if I want it.
Yeah, so what do we have for all that? Thieves Big, probably gonna need that. Desert Map and Piece of Heart. But yeah, the Thieves Big is nice. It's hard required if Thieves is a crystal.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to, when you find Thieves Down, be able to do it right now. And a vanilla, casual play vanilla lamp in Link's house. I say that because most speedrunners pick it up in Zelda Cell, one of 3 places it can spawn. Fred finding a hype cave. Let's see if we have any hype here today.
When was the last time Hype Cave was hype?
When you can't find it. Oh, it's got a bow. See, there, and a sword.
Wow,
that's pretty hype.
That's pretty
I'll
hype.
take that.
And a cane of Burna, just for good measure.
And a mirror sitting in the drop down over by the castle. So that's a nice early find. Always nice to have that mirror before you have Dark World access.
Yeah, then as soon as we find a connector, we can really make use of it, especially if it's a Dark Death Mountain connector.
Mm-hmm. Or even if it's in town and we can get that race game connector taken care of right away, which is always nice. Now, these early checks, both runners are going to end up getting these things. These are all pretty standard, things that are not likely to get skipped by the other runner. Fred wants money early. You don't see too many people go out of their way to pick up 5 rupees. Okay, Ace grabs that mirror, saves and quits. We'll see where he goes next. Fred continuing it on Hera. He's got a hook shot. I didn't see where he got that hook shot.
Yeah, I missed that hook shot too.
He could hair power right now. I don't know. On 3 hearts, green mail, like, God. He's got a sword. He can beat Moldorm. This is completely doable. Annoying, but doable. Like, without the boots, just that setup is just a little bit more tricky.
I wonder if fake boots allows for a Harapot setup.
Oh, I mean, it's still gonna let you bonk. I assume. Well, you're the expert on fake boots with the league and adding the fake boots to the mode.
Hey, and Fred does make it up on the first try.
Ooh, flippers.
And we have, logically locked by the Hera Big Key.
That's interesting. Probably not going to worry about the fact those aren't in logic, because a lot of times people fake flipper anyway. Oh, blindside. I didn't see where Ace found that, but that's 5 items that he'll be able to get here.
Yeah, now we just need, like, Paradox Cave and Cackwell, and we'll have all the, like, big item troves.
Yeah, oh, a mushroom.
And Fred gets trolled by the Troll Dorm.
It happens.
Oh!
Master Sword for Ace, though, so that'll make his trip up here if he chooses to do it a little bit easier.
Yeah, when Fred finds Blindside, I bet he's gonna wish he had found it sooner.
I know. Yeah, I mean, even with sword spins, this is still 6 slashes or 6 pins. Not even really vanilla, because in a vanilla situation, you'd have boots, which changes the strats too.
Hey, and there is the big key entrance of Turtle Rock, and yeah, we're gonna bomb clip over that railing.
Yeah, with the mirror, he can get out to that entrance pretty quickly. So I'm a little surprised doing this soon, when just a ton of entrances in Kakariko still to be found. But, you know, I mean, it's still a couple of items that he can get, and a crystal for Fred, so Ace will have to do that. On 3 hearts, this is really dangerous. 3 hearts, green mail, this is extremely dangerous. Those skull heads, I'm not sure I want to say it's, well, I mean, at 2 hearts, he's definitely one-hit KO mode, but he's pretty close even without.
But you kind of want to grab that full magic. There we go.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I might even use Cane and Burner right here to get past the eye laser. No, he's fine, okay.
I mean, Fred only has full magic because finishing a dungeon gives you a refill.
Yep. And Fred picking up those 20 rupees. And yeah, I guess he's trying to get close to that. I don't think either one of them has actually done the bottle vendor. They could just go back into that rupee hut and farm that way.
Oh, one of our admins, Amazing Ampharos, is remarking that pot that AceZer went by had full magic, so he could have gotten it either way.
Oh, that's a good point.
And our tracker, Toffle, I can't remember, is telling us that it was Bottle Vendor who had the hook shot.
Ah, so Fred has done the bottle vendor. We do see a bottle with a fairy for Ace, which is, I mean, it's a nice item.
Well, I knew by his rupee count he had done the bottle vendor, but I didn't see what he had gotten.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it either. And Ace can check out this other entrance. And Dark World that we can't... Oh, he can mirror. Can't really do anything in that location in the Dark World because...
Mirror bonk on the hedges.
Yeah, this is not a place you mirror very often. And we find the uncle at...
Fred leaving a signature bomb.
Was this in the Lost Woods, or was this at Lumberjack? More bombs.
If it were... Oh, yeah, I guess if it were at Lumberjack, you could get here without... Oh, it was at Magic Bat, okay.
Oh, okay, so I was completely off. Yeah, I kind of like finding that at Lumberjack, because you don't have to worry about killing Aga. But we see Hookshot Cave, which is also a really nice find.
And I wonder if he will bomb through and see where the connector goes.
Let's see why not.
Oh, well,
there's that Hera Big Key.
Flips in logic. There's a flute. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's easier to just go out and activate the flute from... Oh, no, he is seeing the connector.
I mean, you've got if the start point wasn't Kakariko, I could see going and activating the flute first, then going through the connector. But I feel like the fact that anytime you save and quit, you can just start right there. You can just activate the flute from a save and quit after this.
If he had grabbed the mirror and didn't have to take the walk out of Sanctuary, I would agree.
Oh, wow. So we've got the dam.
We
need
was a vanilla hookshot cave exit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Completely vanilla. Ether on the Turtle Rock entrance, but Ace finding the dam. So we can between the runners. If we find a swamp small, we can do some swamp action.
So Ace is going to get his junk of an Uncle Tunnel.
Yeah, thanks, Uncle. Fred, meanwhile, finds the fairy ascent-descent cave combination. That's the one that if you have a mirror portal at the back of Turtle Rock, and when you mirror, that's one of the caves.
And he winds up at Saha's hut.
Yeah, I guess he's got the flute, so he can go ahead and get there pretty easily, so really no advantage by checking those locations out right now. These are harder to get to, so it makes more sense to do these first.
Oh, right. Fred still doesn't have the mirror. I forgot.
Yep.
He really committed to that Sank start, whereas AceZer has gone back and forth a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing about both of these runners Hera-potting, and I'm sure AceZer will find the Hera Big Key shortly afterwards, is that they've orphaned the big chest.
Yep. Yeah, the timing of that Hera Big Key is really annoying. I mean, a lot of runners will still Hera-pot, even with the big key, if you do it first try, as looks like Ace is not getting it first try, as Fred did. It's going to be faster to Hera-pot, but not nearly as much faster as if you can either go mode it or if it's like a non-key sandy situation and the big key's in the basement. Get one more shot at this in terms of hearts, but he gets it. But orphaning that big chest is unfortunate because you don't want to go back.
Yeah, it's a pain. Either you have to line up the Hera-pot again or you have to take the long route, but hopefully flippers were the big thing we were meant to get out of Hera.
Yeah, and hopefully worst case is they find the small key and can at least pair the two together. I mean, it's not as bad as it could be. Hera's not in a bad location, so if they do have to come back here, they'll be able to get here pretty easily. The worst case is when Hera's in a really bad spot, or fill in the blank dungeon with orphanable big chest. It's in a bad spot, so.
But AceZer is doing spin attacks, just takes 3 of them.
Yeah, had the Master Sword beforehand, so a little bit easier fight for him. And we'll get his first crystal. The nice thing for Ace is having that mirror is when he hits all those areas that Fred got in Dark Death Mountain, he's going to have that mirror. He will be able to check and see what's on that floating island, and that's sometimes can be significant, especially with the access they have to it early. Or it could just be rupees. We'll find out.
So Fred's activating that flute. Ace has not yet found Hype Cave. Not Hype Cave, Hookshot Cave, sorry.
Right. Also grabs that 20 rupees. Again, I mean, it's early. Grabbing 20 rupees when it's available is not a terrible thing.
Oh,
I mean, you could do the first chest.
I mean, you're here. You might as well.
You might as well. Yeah, it could be something. Yeah, there you go. It'd be funny if this small key was behind the glove there. And with that mirror, it makes sense for Ace to go ahead and check out the race game, because when he finds access to village outcasts or areas surrounding, he'll have if it's something good, he'll probably beeline it. Where did he get that lamp?
Yeah, I don't remember the lamp grab. And Fred's found Aga Tower, but just a big 20 there and no keys to go further. Oh, right. Cat's reminding us. Yes, you even commented, Tracy.
I even talked about it. Like, apparently I have no memory. We find the old man cave, and we're gonna go ahead and rescue him. And I think Fred has found it as well, but his is dark. You can tell, we can't tell because we can't hear his sound, but you can tell that it is the old man cave, because if you walk forward a few steps, you'll hear Link fall, but he won't reset to the front of the cave, because there is a dark cave that if you do go far enough forward, you will fall into a hole and respawn at the front of the cave. So you can always tell when it's the old man. Hey, look, front of Turtle Rock that we can't do anything with because we don't have a cane. So Fred would have gone a few steps and known exactly where he was.
Hey,
and hi, Laser Bridge.
A nice sink.
Nice heart container. Piece of heart. Rupees.
This is a very red laser bridge.
Yeah, it is. And it is in logic because they have the cane available. Yeah, and more heart containers. It's also a really good spot for Laser Bridge, because if they have to beat Turtle Rock at the end, Fred already has that flute. I have no doubt that Ace will pick up that flute. They'll both be able to just loot one and go straight in there. Also very smart of Ace to go back into the front of Turtle Rock to get that magic refill, so he's got magic again, if he needs it.
So here's a Gina on AceZer. Oh, on both of their sides. We've synced up. The only thing is that Ace doesn't have that flute and Fred doesn't have that lamp or the mirror.
Yeah, it'll give Ace one extra check because he'll be able to go and do the Tower of Hera entrance. And yeah, chat rightly pointing out that Fred also does not have the glove yet. And find another dark connector. I believe that's the back of the save quit old man spot, the mountain start point.
And Spec Rock is just vanilla for all that because, hey, there's quite a few vanilla things. Isn't it traditional to blame Fred whenever something's vanilla?
Oh, what is it? I didn't know that.
Well, usually in the games that he actually wrote, but it's kind of extended into other games.
Sure, that makes sense. We find desert here. We can get one item, we can see another item, and we have connectors here.
And we have Swamp Big in Desert isn't that great, but Mire Big in Paradox is definitely useful.
Yeah, the only the Swamp Key in Desert, all that really does is it avoids turning the Swamp Big chest into a fetch quest, in the same way that Hera's Big Chest has been turned into a fetch quest, so that when they actually do the dungeon, they'll be able to just open it.
There's a TR small, always useful to find. We do have laser bridge access, so we don't need that many TR smalls, but they do help with navigating the dungeon.
Absolutely. And Ace is going to find Paradox. The little bit better situation for Ace, because this exit that Fred just went out, yeah, he can't go back. I mean, he can go back in. He's got flippers, but he can't mirror delete the block. so he can't choose to go back on that choice.
Oh, and we're getting a mushroom turn-in while we're here. We don't know where the magic shop is.
Yeah, unless you're in a situation where it's really convenient to do a fake powder. I like the idea of just turning in that mushroom when you get it. So we did see a race not too long ago where fake powder played a very large role in someone winning, but for the most part, it really doesn't make a difference. And yeah, you're talking about that pod small key, I think.
Yeah, we got a pod small key, we got Bombos, and we found out that Swamp is the green pendant.
Ooh, and Swamp is almost open. Like, they just need that small key.
And Hammer.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, they get one more check with the small key, but
that's true.
The Hammer goes a bit farther.
Yeah, the Hammer's kind of important for Swamp. And see, now Ace is going to be able to just go back and finish clearing the mountain. Meanwhile, Fred's going to do some South Shore checks. And finds another connector. Let's see where that goes. Okay. Not a particularly interesting connector for Ace there. That is an interesting connector for Fred, except he doesn't have the mirror yet, so won't be able to check that location. That's one of those places you can only get to via connector or via connector and mirror. And Fred finally gets his lamp.
And maybe he'll get his mirror shortly.
He might. And meanwhile, Ace is going to check the hobo.
And Fred did drain the dam, so if he finds Swamp, he will be able to get his gloves.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't checked that. Look, I don't think he's seen that yet, so, ooh, nice triple. So I expect him to get that pretty soon. Hobo just with $20 today. Yeah, we still haven't seen Ganon, so no one wants to take the chance of dropping down into a Ganon fight that you can't do yet. So it's unfortunate in this location in particular, because it's much more efficient to drop down from the Uncle drop down than it is to check the front. But if it's so you hope it's nothing required, but it ends up being something required in this case, and he'll have to go back around and pick it up. We saw another desert entrance over on Ace's side at the island, where we normally have the upgrade ferry.
Yeah, still haven't gotten either of our desert keys, so there's really not much we can do there.
Okay, now Fred has that mirror. Interesting to see if he goes straight for those connectors that he's already seen, just to find out if that mirror gets him anything. Funny that Ace hasn't found those yet.
And once again, they've converged location-wise.
Yeah, getting there completely different ways. Fred found a connector here.
There
Ace just swam here.
2 ferries and a shop. Not very useful.
Fred's got one more dark roll checked here. He can go into this other cave on the dark side of things and find nothing. Oh, it's the back of the old man. Okay. It's kind of, I mean, there's 2 more entrances there to check later, so it'll be good to be able to just start there. When you decide you want to check those entrances, it'll be much faster than swimming there in the dark world. But other than that, that's not a very useful starting point.
I wonder if Fred forgot that he has flippers because he just jumped into the water as though he were doing a fake flipper.
Yeah, amazing how well fake flippering works when you have flippers, right?
Never fails.
Okay, still not going over to the bat drop down area, which is, I believe, where we isn't that where we found Hookshot Cave in the Smith's hut?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Is going to do the Lost Woods.
Which we have not seen yet.
Ah, the well. 5 items. Let's go. Will they
Yeah,
be
that's
good
our...
items or not?
I think that's our last big easy item repository, because we've gotten Paradox, we've gotten Hype Cave, we've gotten Blind's Hut.
Mm-hmm. Also, in terms of drop downs, we have, I don't believe we've seen the Useless Fairy yet, Magic Bat, or Ganon. Trying to think. So again, we haven't seen Sanctuary. We haven't seen, obviously, we haven't seen the Pyramid. Skullwood's big key. Oof. Have we seen? Have we seen Lumberjack? That might be the other item we haven't seen. The other actual drop down.
Yeah, so Castle Tower may be required if Ganon's at Lumberjack.
It does happen on occasion. I often, I almost prefer the Vanilla Ganon to the Castle Tower Ganon. Just because those Castle Tower keys are such a pain to get. And Ace finding the side of Bumper Cave that we can't go through with a hook shot. We would need the actual cape to get through that. Meanwhile, Fred's gonna go do the whole Zora area. Has enough money to actually pay Zora, so why not? Okay, there's the Useless Fairy Cave. And there's the Smiths. You know, it's funny because myths don't even always end up being required in these. But you kind of hope you don't ever have to worry about the Smiths. And Super Bunny Cave for Ace, and Zora's gonna give us 20 rupees back.
That's a pretty big ripoff.
Yes, it is. And we find a Desert Palace big key, which gives us more stuff to do in desert, and some bombs, which we don't care about.
I mean, if we find the back of desert, we can beat it.
Which is really nice, yeah.
And at a minimum, we can open the big chest since we know where the front is.
Yep. Yeah, I think we've seen 2 of the 3 entrances to desert. I don't think either one of them has actually followed the exits.
Well, there's a desert exit, though not an exit of desert.
Yep. Okay, heart container at the sanctuary, and I do believe... oh wait, we have one more chance for it not to be Vanilla Ganon, because ironically, I was gonna write off the what would normally be the Useless Fairy, because so many runners, it's the very first thing they check so they can do a Houlihan. But neither runner did that start, so we have this check left. If this isn't Ganon, then it's a Vanilla Ganon. This is Magic Bat. We have a Vanilla Ganon. Meanwhile,
wow.
Spiral Cave to a hammer for Fred.
Yeah, I didn't see where he picked up Spiral Cave, but it exits to Death Mountain, and now he has the mirror.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that was a Gina's cave, because he was in that desert area. Oh, hi.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And a very useless map, and a terrible spot if you want to buy potions later. If we found Saha. I think Fred already found this. So this is...
Oh,
the Bombos and the small key.
Kind of French vanilla mimic cave.
Nice, which we can't do because we don't have a hammer, and you can't do the...
We have a hammer, we're just bunnies.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We don't have a moon pearl. That is... I mean, there are some caves that we can sequence break by mirroring right as we enter the cave. I don't believe that works for Mimic Cave. If it does work, Fred can prove me wrong. Which wouldn't be the strangest thing ever. Okay, he's not going for it, so I'm going to assume that I am correct that is not a workable thing. I think the problem is you can't actually use the hammer as a... I'm not even sure you should call it a super bunny, because you can't do everything, but maybe it is. Maybe you do call it a super bunny there.
Hey, Fred finds Mire, which he can enter. He even has the big key and a fire source, so he could do all of Mire except for the boss.
Oh, we found the back of desert. Fred doesn't have the big key though, so he's just gonna steal the key. And he maybe, when he goes into the other part, ooh, GT on Ace's side, but maybe we'll open the right side chests, and hope that there's nothing there and he can reset.
Hey, and there's Hyrule Castle.
All Ace can do is these first 2 checks. He hasn't picked up that hammer yet, so he can't go to the left side. That's a really awful place for Ganon's Tower, by the way.
Especially since we know we're going to have to climb it because Ganon's vanilla.
Yep. And we're gonna do some bunny walking on Ace's side. Bunny walking kind of sucks. It's slow. You can't always get the items, so you have to keep track of what entrances you leave behind. What did Fred just find?
That was GT Big in Dark Cross.
That's well, I mean, it's gonna be required. I'm pretty confident Ace will get over to Hyrule Castle at some point. It's only really a big deal if there's something in the big chest and he decides to do clear parts of GT before, and again, orphaning a big chest. So he's gonna do some bunny walking in Skull Woods. Not a huge fan of this. It feels like this is still kind of slow. You have to death warp every time, and it's just not. It's a decent number of items, but it just feels like it just doesn't pay out as much as one would hope. And you can't get a Moon Pearl here. This is Bunny Revival, not in logic. Doing a nice job with the Mummy Statue Room, though. Monkey to Hera. Now we got both Hera fetch quests.
If we really want to go back there. Hey, that's our first bottle, not the... Oh, no. It's second bottle?
The second one.
Oh, yeah. Right.
This one has blue.
Something earlier.
Yeah, I want to say the other one. Yeah, blue. I'd definitely rather have a blue than... I want to say a B. What's in the other one?
Yeah, I think it was a B. Now, chat was discussing Sewer's Key, and this check and the previous check is out of logic without the Sewer's Key because you could have... stolen a small key from the front to go to back of escape, which you might do if it were, at Lumberjack or something.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's at Lumberjack or if the Sanctuary is at the Pyramid, you'll often see either a reset from Zelda Cell or just do the back first and then reset if it's nothing. Because you don't want to have to kill either Aga just to do the back of escape. And I do like what Ace is doing